Hi everybody. So this is the second of our virtual principals briefings, and it seems like a very busy week has just happened, although it's been quite interesting with the amount of different things that have been going on, and it's been lovely again to be able to jump into some of the lessons, to be able to see how you're doing different things at home, how you're being able to engage with the different classes. And also seeing how the pupils that we have on site are still able to be part of the same class as well. It's been a really interesting experience for us as a school, but also it's been really positive to listen to some of the feedback which you've given us and to try and adapt and amend some of the things that we're doing to make sure that we are providing as much as we can to support you over the last week and obviously moving into the next week and the rest of this half term. So we've had some things happen this week. We had a parents' evening yesterday. I'm recording this on Friday before the Monday, so yesterday was Thursday. So we had a parents' evening for Year 9 and Year 11. What we'd normally do in those parents' evenings is talk to Year 11s about their final preparation for their GCSEs, but obviously this year's different. And we're still waiting for those final bits of confirmation, and hopefully we can have those rearranged meetings to make sure that we can share that information with you as Year 11 pupils, but with your families as well. But it's really important to stay engaged in the online learning, to stay connected with your friends, your tutor, your teachers, to make sure that that information is being shared through with you. We did manage the parents' evening. We used Zoom, and as from what I've heard, it's been a very busy and productive session that we've learned a lot from, and I'm really pleased that you were able to join those meetings, and the staff have said how nice it was to meet so many parents, albeit virtually, but that happened, and that was really nice to hear. On site, we've been developing one of the walkways up into the forest. We've been creating a sensory walk. That's been really nice, and what we're hoping is some of the pupils that are on site will be starting to help with building that over the course of the next week or so. So when we return normally, that will be up and running, and that's a really exciting adventure for us. We also were donated very kindly by a parent some bulbs to plant, and we've been planting some bulbs around the school recently in the last week, but also we planted some just before Christmas as well. So hopefully in the spring, when we'll see more people around, we'll see some colour. We'll see some beautiful bulbs shooting up around the school site, and it's all over the place, which is really lovely. So hopefully that'll inject some real colour to our school. We have also started to display weekly plans for our primary colleagues. So those are now up on the website. So that'll help in order to make sure that you can see what learning is happening on a weekly basis. Those are on our Parents tab of our website, and on the drop down you can go into the virtual learning and the primary overviews. Those will be uploaded later on today so that families can see those, and they'll be up and ready for Monday. Before Christmas we had a series of surveys that went out to our staff, to our parents and to the pupils. Those surveys have been collated now. We're developing our responses to those to make sure that you know that we are listening, we are developing, we are adapting to make sure that the experience that you have of our school is really positive, and it brings about a collaboration between all the different parties involved in making a school work. So hopefully in the next 3 to 4 weeks we will get those responses to you, and we can start adapting some of the You Said We Did parts that we put out each week in the newsletter, but to try and expand that a little bit more so you have real clarity about some of the things that we are doing to help you. Our theme this week, if we were all in school, we've been talking about our expectations, but actually linking to that, talking about the Avanti Way. But seeing as we're in a virtual world and we're working remotely, the Avanti Way is really important in that part of our educational life as well. And it seems like a really good opportunity to talk a little bit about that and how that is important, and how we can all still work to the 3 main pillars that we do when we're on site. So the first part of the Avanti Way, which I'm sure many of you will know, is about educational excellence. And for me, that is about what happens in your classrooms, but it's also about the curriculum which we're putting in front of you. So myself and the senior leadership team here have been developing and enhancing our curriculum for next year. And whilst that might seem like quite a long way away, it's things that we plan well in advance to make sure that that can be communicated with you. Some of our Year 9 pupils within the next month or so will be looking at their GCSE options, and if we make any changes to that, that needs to be clear across the whole curriculum, right down to reception. So we are making some changes for next year to make sure that everyone can have forest school in their timetable, to make sure that everybody has yoga in their timetable, and to ensure that Year 9 students this year and through following years get more option choices to ensure that they can study GCSEs, which will help them as they move on through past out of Avanti Hall into college, into further education, then into university or wherever they may go, to give them more technical qualifications and to make sure that creative subjects are there as part of our options as well. So one of the things with educational excellence we've been working really hard on is to ensure that the teaching that you get at home or in school is still excellent. And we are continually working on how we're using our Google Classroom, our Google Meets, how we can feed back to you on the work that you've done, and how we can support you if you're finding things challenging or not challenging enough. We can support you to make sure that those key areas of our development are in place to support you and feedback to you directly on the work that you're doing. So educational excellence fits on everything that we do, from the curriculum to the classroom to your learning behaviours, your expectations of yourself and your aspirations of whatever key stage that you're in, making sure you can be as successful as possible. And the second pillar from the Avanti Way is called character formation. And that is really important for each individual, whether you are a pupil, whether you're a member of staff here, or the wider community. That character formation is about how you develop individually, how you can challenge yourself to become a leader, to become resilient, to overcome barriers within your own learning or barriers within your own personal life. And it's how you can challenge yourself to take on those and make sure that they become a really positive experience and that you can prepare yourself really effectively for the next phases of whatever you're doing, whether it's in learning in school, whether it's part of your career as you move on, or whether it's within your community groups that you belong to. So one of the things that we've done very recently is we've launched the Duke of Edinburgh, and it's been really nice to hear from Miss Albertine that some of you have already started to sign up to that. One of the things which is really important to remember for a Year 9, 10 and 11 students is you can still do the Duke of Edinburgh whilst being remote. There are elements of the award which can be done. And if you've got any questions, please ask Mrs. Albertine, because that's an important part of our character formation because of the challenge, the community work, charity work, volunteering, which you can do. Part of that is really helpful to make sure that you've got the skills that you'll need to take on the next challenges when you move through the different key stages. And the other parts of character formation which we're working really hard on is building, it links to our educational excellence, but building that wider curriculum to give you those opportunities to be in the woods, to be outside, to develop teamwork. And whilst that's harder when we're not seeing you every day, it's still something that we can still strive to do and put things in place. And the third pillar, which I think is really special to us here at Avanti Hall School, is that spiritual insight. We're all spiritual beings. We all have means and ways to regulate ourselves, to make sure that we can feel comfortable and happy. And one of the things which I was really thrilled about was Miss Cooper put together a video based on the Spike Milligan poem, Smiling is Infectious. And hopefully, if you've seen it already, you'll know that your teachers here are incredibly caring and they want you to be smiling, they want you to be happy. And that's a message from us to you, to keep smiling and to keep positive with each other and make sure that your relationships, which we talked about last week, are really fruitful and that they are encouraging you to be happy, to be confident. And in order to help you do that, we've heard from many students and many parents of the challenges that having 5, 6 Google Meet lessons a day has, and the pressures of completing a lot of work has for our secondary pupils, but also from our primary colleagues as well, where working from home can be challenging, and it doesn't give you the amount of time that you would like to look after yourselves. So what we're suggesting we're going to do this week is we're going to have a Wellbeing Wednesday. So we talk about spiritual insight, and I think mental health, our own positivity is a huge part of who we are as individuals and our own spiritual well-being. So on Wellbeing Wednesday, we are looking to create a day where we're going to give you suggestions of things to do to look after yourselves, whether that be yoga sessions, meditation, some challenges outside, things to do which you will choose, but to help you and make sure that you're not focused on 6 lessons in the day, or that you're not heavily focused on all the academic study. So it's a day focused on you as an individual to look after yourself. And the other elements from the spiritual insight which have started already are daily yoga sessions from the Trust, which can be found on YouTube. We've also started to do our own in school, and they'll be into your Google Classrooms as well. And your tutors and your class teachers will start to share with you some meditation ideas, some breathing exercise to make sure that you can have that opportunity to really be calm, to be happy, and to make the best of what is a very difficult situation for many people. And finally, as we mentioned last week, Mrs. Evans sent out a photograph challenge to make sure that when we're outside, and please do remember you have that opportunity to exercise once a day. Please go outside and do that. Take in the world around you. Look up, look around, see things in a different perspective. But if you are taking those photos as well, that gives you an opportunity to really look after yourself and make sure that you have every opportunity to be happy, to be calm, and to spiritually look after yourself. So actually the theme of the Avanti Way this week is really important because it's something we're acknowledging in the things that we're changing and the things that we're doing. So I hope you have a good week. We're looking forward to seeing you virtually. We're looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your feedback, and please get in contact with anything that you think we could do to improve some of the virtual learning so that we can act on your feedback. Stay safe and stay well. Bye-bye.